Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. So today we are going to have a little bit of an in-depth talk with two people that mean the world to Ashley and I, the amazing James A. Janisse and Chelsea Rebecca. How you doing today, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
We're good. Thank you so much for taking out time to talk to us.
Yes, we know you guys are very busy.
Sorry if our audio quality is less than optimal. We are on our laptop in a hotel room right now.
Yeah.
We had to stop at a friend's house.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, this is not our usual background, but to make this work, we just wanted to do this. So
you mean your usual background isn't a giant bicycle wheel with
right, yes.
Yeah.
As horrific as that scene.
Yeah. That just screams horror to me.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
We put that there on purpose because it reminds us of when Bill took his wife down the hill during It. So that way he could wake her up from her sleepy coma.
Yeah. Please never try that with me. All right. So you guys, how does it feel doing a convention here in your home state?
Oh man, it's so good.
It's great. It's nerve-wracking though.
I know, because we haven't gone there yet. And we're like, dude, I hope Michigan shows up for us, man, because we've done these other conventions. Most of the time we have a pretty good turnout. There has been one convention where things were a little slow and we're like, man, I hope that this isn't another slow one. That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. This is where we're from.
I was hitting up high school friends. I was like, yo, you should come see us.
Come on out. So is this your first time at Astronomicon? I know it's like the 7th year. Yeah. It's crazy. It's only like an hour from us and we've never been either.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is
we've been to Silver Scream Con, which is run by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen how well those conventions go, because that was probably our favorite convention we've ever been to. It was so fun.
We got to meet the team who runs Astronomicon. We got to meet one half of Twisted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to have dinner with them.
Yeah.
That was in Detroit when Spencer was here for his concert. So and so we've been acquainted with them, just not to the convention itself.
Okay. Well, and it's cool because a couple of years ago, you guys were media guests covering conventions, and now you guys are behind the table being celebrity guests. Do you think that being the media guests and such big fans, that really makes it a little easier for you guys to be the celebrity guests, to be understanding of the people that want to meet you because you've been on that side of the table?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I think that's why we are very, insistent, mostly we're insistent to ourselves that okay, we don't really take breaks throughout the day. Like we want everyone to get a chance to see us who wants to. And, to be fair to anyone else who's signing, taking breaks is a reasonable thing to do because it is exhausting. And, but you just hear sometimes how far people have traveled, and I would just be heartbroken if someone missed out. There will be times where we're like, could we pack up for the day? And we're like, well, let's just go back to the table and check and see if anyone has, walked over that maybe missed out. And sure enough, there'll be someone who was like, oh my God, I thought you guys were gone. And
I came here just for you. Couldn't get here until now. And it's like, great, I'm glad we came back.
Yeah.
And I always just think of since we've been on the other end, for us, we're meeting hundreds of people, and it's I try to remember as many people's names as I can and their faces and get their story and everything. But for us, we're meeting a whole bunch of people at once. For them, it's their one time meeting us. So, if we're less than pleasant because we're tired or something, that's going to impact them, and they're going to remember that forever. That's going to suck. So I never want to be the cause of that memory that someone has of oh man, I thought they'd be nicer.
I've heard people you never meet your heroes and things like that. Someone will have a bad experience and then someone else will go meet them and have a completely different experience with them. They're like, they're not bad. They're really awesome.
At the end of the day, we always got to remember that we're all human beings.
Yeah.
And we all have things that impact our lives. We don't know what phone call you got 3 minutes before, learning of some tragedy that could have happened. And, we've all been there with loss and sickness of parents. And, you never know what could be impacting another human being at that moment of their life. And a personal story real quick, we met you guys a couple times, and at Horror Hound, you guys were grabbing lunch and you still took a second. And we tried to be as quick as we could, enjoy your lunch, but you still, hey, let's talk for a second. So that shows, how genuine you guys can be with people that do travel as far as they can to possibly to see you guys.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Sorry. No, you can talk.
Oh, no, I was just going to vamp a little bit, but no, we're good.
What's your favorite part about doing these conventions?
I mean, it's a bunch of things. It's meeting the fans. That's so validating, especially I hope that it really affects you, Hun, because I feel like all the people who meet us at conventions always say the podcast, like they love the podcast. And
yeah, that is cool, especially since like, you know, obviously the kill count in James is like the main draw of the channel. I'll never say he's not the main draw of the channel. He's the reason it exists and it's as big as it is. But it is very cool and reassuring that people like the podcast doesn't go into a void, you know, it doesn't go into an abyss, and like people listen to it, and it's very cool to hear from everyone.
You know, even if you think I'm the reason the channel is as big as it is, I think you're the reason it's as good as it is. Because you're like, you're quality control. You're the reason that it's more than just me making bad jokes while recapping a movie. So I thank you for that. But yeah, the fans meeting them is so validating. It's also really great to meet the other guests there and get a chance to know them a little bit, especially after hours when the convention's over. And maybe my favorite is when we're all at the same hotel, which was the case with we just came from Spookala last weekend, and so I really got to know and talk to some people, and like Tony is Tony Revolori is so cool. Like
we spent a lot of time with Tony Revolori from he's in Scream 6, and I mean everyone saw him first in Grand Budapest, but he was so little in that.
Yeah, so it was so cool to like connect with someone who we've been watching for so long and be like, oh yeah, they're just like a regular person. They have the same interests as us. Right. He had such good movie recommendations. I was like making a list out of them. And like, it was so, it's just so nice to know, like, we're not that different from these really cool people who sometimes we're like, are you guys too cool for us? Like, no, they're really nice.
Right.
Trust me, we've been talking about that for about a half hour leading up to this.
Yeah.
So we totally understand where you're coming from. You did bring it up a little bit, you know, the podcast and the impact that the podcast has, because we've had people telling us about the Dead Meat podcast. And we're like, yeah, you know, absolutely, we love it. And now you guys are starting the new channel, Dead Meat Presents, where a lot of the podcast stuff is going to be going. Everything that's not kill count related, which we do have that link down in the description as well. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the new channel, please go and do that. I promise you won't be upset. You're going to get all of it, everything, whether it's the podcast, the interviews, they talk, all these amazing things that these guys are doing. And one of my favorite things, Production Tales from Hell, hosted by Chauncey K. Robinson, a good friend of ours as well.
Yeah.
Nice. All that is going to be on the new channel. So make sure you guys are checking that out. What gave you guys the desire to want to do this separation? And I know it as a content creator, I know the anxiety that had to come with creating a new channel and trying to export everything over to this other channel. What gave you the final, you know, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this its own thing. What gave you the desire to finally pull the trigger and make it happen?
Yeah, this is something that we had talked, like we started talking about this years ago. I think even in the earliest discussions, it was something where it'd be a new channel, but the podcast would stay on the main one with the kill counts. But like, I don't know, man. This year, especially, whether it's due to change in viewing habits or TikTok's continued proliferation, things are just different. And I think the algorithm treats things differently. YouTube Shorts is also impacting things. So we're just trying to figure out what the optimal way to get the content that people want to see to the people who want to see it. And as much as it's a disappointment to us, there is a large percentage of the audience who just watches kill counts and they're not interested in the other content. So when those people don't watch the other videos we put out, then the assumption, because it's kind of a black box that we don't really know the truth about, the assumption is that then YouTube does not also show them the kill counts that they would otherwise watch. So our hopeful solution here is to have a separate place for all the other stuff. People who just want to watch the kill counts can stick to the main channel and they'll get every video recommended to them, while the, I don't know, the core, the dedicated audience, the really awesome people will follow us to this new channel and continue watching this other stuff that isn't just those videos.
Yeah, and we now have a little bit more room to do just different stuff, like more interviews, or if we get like a one-off idea that's like, this would never be a series, but something dumb that we want to do, there's more room to do that now, which is nice. I've seen some kind of back and forth in terms of people's reactions to the new channel. And I did see someone say like, oh, well, other creators like Rhett and Link say they just do whatever they want on their channel. They don't care about I'm like, but Rhett and Link are like,
that's an order of magnitude.
They're like, yeah, we cannot even, I would not deign to compare
the
us
people
to.
they've met and the things they've done. Like,
yes, they're different. We are not Rhett and Link. I think we have to be a little bit more strategic about what we're doing because they've been in the game for so much longer than we have and are just on another planet in terms of like this media empire that they've built. And
but like Chelsea said, we get emails all the time from people being like, hey, would you want to interview this actor, this director? And most of the time we just have to be like, we want to, but we don't know what we would do with it because if we record this interview, we put it on the channel, not as many people are going to watch it. And then
do you know how bad it feels when you run into people at these conventions who are like, hey, why haven't you had me on the channel? Like, someone who was very upset that they were not on the channel. His name rhymes with Matthew Gillard.
He's like, why didn't you invite me on the show? And we're like, we will now that we can.
I'm sorry.
Explain the algorithm.
We'd be like, well, YouTube has this algorithm. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I would tank your channel. I'm like, no.
Maybe you should get the Scooby Gang on this one for us. And let us know.
So I'm excited to be able to finally say, what's up?
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm just excited to finally be able to say yes to these interviews, and like Chelsea said, if we have this idea for a stupid one-off, we can just put it up on this new channel and not worry about how it performs. So it is, that person was like, Rhett and Link are gonna. That's what we're doing, is we're making it so we can do what we want.
Like, hopefully, this new channel will be the channel where we can just do whatever we want.
Yeah, and do more like I always want to do. Yeah, and I always want to do more live streams of games. And there's always the like, is this hurting the channel? Now I don't care. It'll be on the channel for the people who want to see it.
Yeah.
Right. And as we do interviews a lot. That's kind of our big thing. We love to interview people. And so as us who are diehard fans, I love to watch your interview techniques and kind of, pick apart what you guys do. I'm not saying I want to bite your shit, but, to kind of see somebody else that's as big of a fan as we are of interviewing people, to watch what you guys do, that is really influential to people like us that want to go out there and watch it. So I'm glad that you're not doing like, okay, well, let's cut back on this because of the kill count. Let's do more of this, but let's move it to this other space where people that really do love it are still going to get the chance. And like our daughter, we've told the story before, They Talk is her favorite thing on the planet.
She does love it. Yeah,
that's so great.
When it first came out, she called it Scare Me, and she would sit there and listen to the opening song, and she would dance, and
for those parents, like she loves horror movies.
So, and that's because the growth of your channel and letting other people take the reins on certain things. It's amazing to see the growth. And you were talking about it a couple of weeks ago about how we still get people that are like, we miss the old dead meat. We miss the old dead meat. You guys were talking about that, and it's like, pay attention to the new stuff and look at the production, look at the behind the scenes stuff that you guys are doing. And it really is, for people that want to grow their channel, it's amazing to go back and watch the original Friday the 13th kill counts and then go and watch The Exorcist that dropped today and see the growth that's happened there. And it's fucking unbelievable. And I could not be more proud of how amazing it is with the writers and everything you guys are doing. And it's just absolutely insane. And we're super proud of how far you guys have come in this time that you guys have been doing this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. And this is like just internet in general. And I find this such a weird phenomenon where there is kind of a desire for people who make stuff on, let's use YouTube as an example. People often want it to stay very low budget or like low production value. I think because with YouTube there is this sense of like there's more of a, I don't want to say parasocial and make it sound like it's a bad thing, but yeah, it is this kind of like, oh, you're just another person like me making stuff. And so I think maybe once it starts to get a little bit more high production value, for some people it feels like there's a barrier that's there now, or this kind of level of separation, or this maybe the feeling of, oh, this person's putting themselves on a pedestal now, which is such an interesting phenomenon. Like I can't think of any other thing where that is the case, you know.
It almost feels like when a punk rock band goes to a major label.
Sure. Yeah.
When Green Day quit playing the clubs and started getting major
sellouts.
Yeah.
And we do see those comments from time to time being like, oh, I miss the old Dead Meat, where like there is sometimes accusations that we aren't as hard on movies anymore because like we're friends with people in the industry, which does affect how we will talk about a movie as far as like the rhetoric goes, I think. But I think that also just comes from a case of after having doing this for so long and seeing all the behind the scenes footage, it's also just a recognition of, wow, movies are fucking hard to make. And any movie that gets made is a miracle. And so even if we don't like something and we can make jokes about it, it's not going to be as vitriolic and be like, oh, this person
or
fucking
like
sucks.
All encompassing, like this whole thing is bad.
Yeah.
It's
right.
I would be hard pressed to find a movie where literally everything in it is bad. That's tough.
Veronica?
Yeah.
Veronica. Yeah.
Stay tuned for The Exorcist 2 kill count next week.
Exorcist 2 is somewhat interesting.
I think there's plenty
I like
to love
that.
about Exorcist 2.
Linda Blair's doing her best.
Right.
Yes. Chelsea, this is a question for you. So I know that you dabble in cosplay, like being a cosplayer. So do you have like a favorite one that stands out to you from going to all these cons?
I mean, my favorite character to cosplay was always Cersei from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because she is so very different than me, and it was fun to kind of be her in a sense for a day, you know. It was also fun because like I'm normally a very like smiley person, and I'm like generally pretty happy to talk to people, and it was fun to be just roaming around at conventions and not having to smile for pictures or just being like a straight up dick if I'm not in the mood for a picture. It's like that. It's
like I'm in performance.
Yeah,
it's so good at it.
Very liberating, and people would like heckle me, and it was fun. Like it was kind of fun, you know. That
That's awesome.
Can't really think of too many instances where it was like, oh, this feels like weird and personal.
There were a few times when people would follow you yelling shame after that episode.
Yeah, and
that was a little.
It was less like, oh, I'm actually bothered by this, and more just like, dude, I've been hearing this all weekend, and it's like you're not the first guy to do it, and it's not that funny, you know. Like,
it was kind of like when people were doing the from Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, we've heard it. You don't have to repeatedly do that over and over.
Yeah.
So, you know, even from following you guys on social media and seeing, especially this last string of cons you guys have been doing, which has been amazing to follow you guys and see what people have been saying, even getting like the Roman Reigns, you know, with the wise man Chelsea and, you know, the tribal chief James. Do you guys have like a memorable fan encounter or anything like that from a con that has been recent that you guys want to talk about?
I mean, that one was great. Also, we helped someone announce that they were pregnant.
That was fun.
In a picture, they had us like point at their belly, and then they posted that picture as their announcement of that they were pregnant. That was really good.
That's so cool.
Yeah, anytime people come into those photo ops and have something special for us to do, I think that those are always really fun.
Yeah.
We also go ahead.
Oh, I say I won't out them unless this is the story you were gonna tell.
Go ahead.
Specifically, I won't out them, but we found out a celebrity we're a big fan of. Their kids are a fan who we recently met at a convention, and we were like, wait, are you lying? Like, what do you mean that's your parent? And then we got a DM later from that person. I don't know. I won't,
thanking us for being
just
nice
in
to them,
case I won't out them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. You're like, no way.
Yeah. Anytime we meet people who have been watching us since Drunk Disney is always really rewarding, because it's like, wow, that was like almost 10 years ago now, and watching us this whole time, that means so much to us. And oh no, it was 10 years ago now. I keep thinking it's like 2012 was 10 years ago.
It'll be 10.
But and also there was the last person who came up to us at our Q&A at Spookala was such a nice like full circle moment. They said that they had met us 10 years ago, maybe even 11, and they had seen us at Disneyland and recognized us and told us that. And we told them that they were the very first person to ever recognize us in public, which we wouldn't have lied that they would have been. Right. They would have recognized us from Drunk Disney. So it made sense it was at Disneyland. And they showed us the picture that they got with us. So it was like the very first person to ever like recognize us in a public setting. And then coming to our panel at a horror convention where we're guests was so cool. It was so
awesome. That is awesome.
Dude, that fills my heart.
Yeah.
Like, that's so amazing. Like, that's such an incredible feeling. So we just got a couple more questions for you guys, because we're getting ready to head up there to meet you guys in person. But
so you guys have like any, like, how do you get prepared for these cons? Like, like me, I strategically like make lists, and then I still end up packing like 20 outfits and 15 pairs of shoes for a 3-day trip. Like, what do you guys get prepared?
Yeah, I always overpack.
Always,
because I'm like, what if
I'm looking at my overflowing suitcase right now, and I have so much shit that like I have
it
not
is
worn.
Michigan. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I have not worn this trip. I'm not going to wear this trip. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh, we're there for 3 days. Okay, here are 3 pants options, 3 shorts options, 3 short sleeve, 3 long sleeve, 3 layers. And yeah, it's because you never know. This trip especially was bad because we had a convention in Florida, but instead of going back to LA in between, we stayed with my mom down there, then flew directly up to Michigan. So we had 2 conventions.
For like and Michigan's weather's really weird right now. It's like different every day. So it's like
it could be different in the same day. Like it could be summer in the morning, winter in the evening. You never know what you're gonna get.
So no, we are and me especially, I think I overpack a lot. And yeah, especially the worst is when you get to the shoes, because it's like, they take up so much space. I have so many
shoes that I did not even touch this trip.
You gotta have options.
Yeah.
I find myself packing for him, like, you're gonna want this. I know you're gonna need this, because he'll put like 2 pairs of underwear and a shirt and pants. And I'm like, dude, come on.
No, what I do is count the number of days that I'll be, including travel days, on a trip, and then multiply that by 1.5 for the amount of the pairs of underwear I bring.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You never know. You never know.
Oh, we're going to be there in 5 days. I'm bringing fucking 8 pairs of underwear and pairs of socks.
You get scared. You might shit your pants.
You never know. What if you shit your pants every day that you're gone? You got to be prepared.
Exactly.
We've been married 18 years. We got married in high school. So I'm lucky. I got someone that knows me better than I know myself to pack my stuff for me.
You always want the stuff that I pack. You're like, oh, that was good. Yeah.
So like we said, guys, this video is premiering today and tomorrow, which is going to be Saturday the 13th at 5 p.m. We are going to get the Q&A with James and Chelsea counting kills at Astronomicon in Livonia, Michigan. We hope you guys can make it out. For people that can't make it, can you tell us a little bit about what you'll be talking about on the panel?
We have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. They told us we would have a panel. We're like, okay, I think it's just gonna be a standard Q&A.
I think it'll be, I know we'll have a moderator, and so it might be, some of it might be a retread, but other stuff. I was surprised at our Q&A at Spookala how many questions genuinely threw me for a loop. Like there were just some really creative questions that I encourage stuff like that because it keeps us on our toes. And,
it's much better than when are you gonna cover Return of the Living Dead? I don't know, man. When I get to it,
Right, and that's the thing with the growth of the channel and all the content stuff you guys are doing now. We're lucky that we're still getting content as much as we are from you guys.
Yeah,
we're getting the live updates, we're getting the kill count still. It's amazing to see the growth and still the dedication that you guys are doing. It shows not only how much this means to you, but how big a fans you are of the horror genre in general. So we hope you guys have the most amazing time this weekend. We hope that Michigan does show up for you guys. I know I said it at the beginning, but we're at the end of the 3rd act. The credits are about to roll and the curtain's about to drop. But before that happens, we do have their new page down in the description. So make sure you are subscribing to the new page. You can get all that amazing content. If you never checked it out and you want to know how horror started for these 2 amazing people, we do have their My First Horror Movie episode down in the description as well. So,
and
James,
we are also, we have a live show on Sunday. If anyone's in the area, whether or not you're going to Astronomicon, we have our live show in Detroit at the Masonic Temple. Is that at 7 p.m.?
I believe so.
Yeah, if you search for Dead Meat Masonic Temple, it'll be on axs.com is where tickets are sold, and we will be doing a live podcast recording, our first ever, and we'll be talking about The Crow since it takes place in Detroit. That looks nothing like the actual city, but it's a great movie, and we're really excited to talk about it. We've been doing our research, been rewatching it, and very excited about it. Make sure you go to that if you can, and make Chelsea happy because she's worried about.
I am. I've watched this movie so many times at this point for this thing.
If you guys want tickets, you don't even got to search for it because they're down in the description.
Perfect.
So make sure you go right down there, click that, get tickets, come hang out with us, come hang out with them, watch their first ever live podcast.
We are not a Grateful Dead tribute show.
Yes.
Google will have you believe that it is going to be a Grateful Dead tribute concert.
It's not the case.
It's not true. I don't know how that happened.
Well, now I'm disappointed. That's what I was.
Will I be wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirt? Maybe, just to throw people off. No, it's been ordered.
Oh, it's been.
I'm taking care of it. Don't you worry. I'll commit to
what I love about you talked about full circle, doing your first ever live podcast in Detroit. That's That's amazing, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that is so incredible. And if you can't make it, so like I said, the link's down in the description. You guys will be able to check it out anyway. Support them, all the hard work they're doing. So guys, please don't go anywhere. We got a couple more questions for you. Everyone else, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.